Dr. Vijay, we already saw the previous case. So as Madam said, you need to tell us the same key points. Number one, the vessel status. Number two, ankle range of movement. And number three, that is sensation and the movement. And of course, smoker or non-smoker. These are the important points, because as we see here again, the bone with drill holes are going to be non-viable. So please start.
My patient is a 60-year-old male manual laborer by occupation, had a road traffic accident, run over by a four-wheeler and sustained injury to middle third of the left leg with fractured bone coming through the wound 6 months back. He was referred from Tiruvannamalai GH and initially debrided and external fixator was applied by our ortho team in our hospital, and whose wound was closed primarily. On second post-operative day, he developed a discoloration of the skin with pus discharge. So the wound was debrided on fifth post-operative day and bone was exposed through the wound. So 4 weeks later, holes were drilled over the exposed bone. No granulation tissue developed after the procedure. Wound size remained the same for the past 5 months. Patient has no wound discharge, fever in the interim period. There is no significant past history. He is an occasional alcoholic and smoker. On general physical examination, there is nothing significant. Systemic examination were also normal. On local examination, there is a wound over the middle third of the left leg over the anteromedial aspect, measuring 11 into 5 centimeter with exposed necrotic bone with gap between the fractured segments seen. Margins are well defined, sloping edges. Floor is formed by necrotic bone at the center. Wound is partially covered with healthy granulation tissue at the periphery. There is no active seropollen discharge. Palpation, there is no local rise of temperature. Mild tenderness is present. Inspectory findings about the size and site are confirmed. There is no obvious limb length discrepancy. No sensory deficit over the leg, ankle, or foot. All peripheral pulses in the left limb were felt and is of normal rhythm and volume. Movement, ankle joint and toes. Dorsiflexion of the foot is present but restricted, probably due to chronic positioning due to pain. Plantar flexion is present. Dorsiflexion and plantar flexion of the toes present. Diagnosis: this is a post-traumatic sequelae 6-month-old compound defect of the left middle third leg with both bone fracture with bone gap in tibia with external fixator in situ. Investigations: X-ray of the left leg, AP and lateral view shows middle third tibial fracture with fracture of the fibula at the middle third lower third junction with drill holes present over the middle third fractured tibia with sclerotic appearance over the distal fractured segment of the tibia with gap between the fractured segments and bone loss seen in the lateral view. Doppler study was done. Both the lower limb showed triphasic flow in popliteal artery, anterior tibial artery, posterior tibial artery, and dorsal Espides artery. Further, I would like to take wound swab and other routine investigations for anesthetic assessment purpose. Shall I go to my plan, sir?
Yes, please.
So my first plan is the single stage reconstruction. Following thorough debridement and excision of all the necrotic bone, there will be approximate bone loss of 12 centimeter long. So I'll reconstruct that with free fibula flap from the opposite leg.
Which vessels will you use?
The posterior tibial artery and vena cava.
Yes. What is next plan?
My next plan is a staged reconstruction. In stage 1, I'll debride with excision of the necrotic bone with wound cover with inferiorly based interpolation flap from the lateral aspect with the deepithelialization of the intervening skin with skin graft for the secondary defect, and in stage 2, destruction osteogenesis.
Yeah, this is also a good plan, but will you delay your flap? The flap looks quite long. Put the flap full picture. Yeah. Have you Dopplered any perforator in the base?
No, sir.
So whenever you plan a flap, you should always Doppler. So usually the same fibula perforator around 6 to 7 centimeters from the lateral malleolus you will get at the middle third, lower third junction level. So always do a Doppler. And such a big flap, if you take, I would always maybe plan a partial delay, because this is one shot he will get. If the distal end, business end necrosis, that is only going to cover your this thing. So going back in the same.
Sir, I have a few more plans.
Yes, show your next plan.
Sir, plan 3 is stage 1 free ALT, and in stage 2 distraction osteogenesis. Plan 4 is RSSF lab with flap delay in stage procedure and followed by distraction osteogenesis. And plan 5 is cross-leg flap division, and then distraction osteogenesis.
Right. So let us take one. Okay, we'll start with the from behind. That is plan 5. So such a 60-year-old man. Okay, before I proceed or ask you, what was he doing for 6 months? Like, why he did not get any treatment? Was he?
Sorry, initially that debridement was done. After 1 month, they
5
did.
days. Yeah, that is 10 days.
After 1 month, they waited for 1 month. Then they did bone drilling.
Okay, then.
Then they waited for granulation tissue to appear, which never appeared. Patient went back to his
native place.
Then came back.
Okay, so basically the same problem. So the bone was non-viable. If you go by the first history itself, the skin was also partially non-viable. So ideally, the skin should have been excised on day 1. If the skin had been excised on day 1 and a local myocutaneous or a sural or any type of flap would have preserved the bone, or at least most of the bone. The bone got infected because the overlying skin necrosed. Because the overlying skin necrosed, they waited, drill hole. Dead exposed bone with drill hole will never survive. So that was again wrong. So I think we have never done now, unless there is good soft tissue, we drill and see. If there is bleeding, then you retain. We do drill occasionally, but if there is no bleeding from the drilling, then you excise it. So coming to cross leg, I won't prefer cross leg, such an old man, and as we discussed, especially when local option is available. So distraction osteogenesis would be my first choice. Go back now, plan 4. So you can have a combination, as I presented, 6 combinations are there. So you can have a local flap, locoregional with a distraction, free flap with distraction, free fibula with locoregional, and free flap with free fibula. So RSSS is good option. You debride it well, do a delay or complete the delay and cover it nicely, and then preferably it is always nice you remove the dead bone, get a soft tissue cover, and then proceed for any bony reconstruction. So that should be ideal. Go back one more step. Plan 3. Yes. So this would be my preferred choice. I would prefer, because it's a nice composite defect. You do a nice small ALT flap, the with vastus, the muscle fills the cavity, the skin will heal nicely, and then, but before this, what we would prefer in our unit, you can directly load a distraction, that is a limb reconstruction system or distraction system, uniplanar system, and then do so one stage of debridement and application of the distraction system. Second stage, we do an ALT flap within 1 or 2 days, because also when you debride and take away all the dead tissue, never cover any flap over dead and necrotic tissue. So cover the flap, then do the distraction. So this would be my plan number 1. Go next, back. Yes. So this is also a good option of inferiorly based interpolation, but again, I would be very careful in taking such a long flap in a 60-year-old man, especially when, even if the edge of minimal edge necrosis happen, then everything gets delayed by further, because some more bone will get exposed, or you need to do something. And once you have taken such a big flap, there is hardly local options available. So if you are planning this technique, debride well and do a delay at the time of debridement, and intervening period maybe put a temporary vac for 3 to 4 days or 5 days till your delay is over. Cover with good flap and then do distraction osteogenesis. So this could be your plan number 2, which is right. And finally, if the first plan, which is free fibula, this has to be done very, very meticulously. So this I don't put. That's why this was my last option in my reconstructive ladder. For doing this, you need a very, very expert expert orthopedic surgery team and an expert microsurgery team, because if anything goes wrong, then you have lost a fibula, then you have lost the big segment of bone, and then you go back to square one. Then once you're taken a big island from the opposite side, then you lose your cross leg flap option also. Then the only flap option will be in ALT with distraction. When you do a radical excision for a fibula, then you may not be mentally prepared for a bone transfer. So this I will put as a last reconstruction option, because unless the patient is very insistent, I want single stage reconstruction, I would not go for this as my first choice. So plan 1 would be a loco-regional flap with a delay, debridement, loco-regional flap, bone transport. Second option, ALT with bone transport, and final option would be free fibula. So that will be my 3 options.
Okay, sir.
But you're right, you can justify it in either way, you can do. Only thing, when you say regional interpolation or sural, I think both ideal to do with some delay, so that safer to do, and always Doppler the base.
Okay.
Madam?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, what about Masquelet technique? Is it used?
Yes, so
yes,
Masquelet is a very good technique, but except for Masquelet's unit and couple of units in UK, very few units follow it. Now there is a modification, basic for audience, what is Masquelet. So in Masquelet, such a defect, if it is there, just put your X-ray of the bone. So when you have a defect like this, once you dissect, yes, keep that photo. So you will be dissecting practically just below the second pin on the top until the drill holes end. That much bone you will remove in the first stage. At that stage, you bridge the gap using a bone cement, antibiotic impregnated bone cement. Cover it with a flap, with a well vascularized flap. Leave it for some time. Then subsequently come back. Remove the bone cement by putting only an incision. You should not remove the biomembrane which forms around it. You remove the implant and fill the cavity with iliac crushed bone graft. So that amount of iliac crushed bone graft is very difficult, 14 centimeters. So what Masquelet people do is they have a drill. They drill the femur and then take the intramedullary bone, like a juice it comes, and then fill that whole thing. So to get so much of bone graft, to fill such a big non-vascularized bone graft, to fill such a big cavity is a difficult thing. And at no stage it should get exposed or infected, which can also go wrong. So in the big panels, we have had a lot of international panels where we have our orthopedic team, and they ask, why are you not doing it in Ganga? The reason they say is, when you have a defect like this, where Masquelet is needed, our team is very good to do free fibula, so we prefer a fibula transfer. The other modification is you retain the biomembrane, put a bone cement. We also do it now routinely in many cases. You remove the bone cement and fill the fibula in the cavity. So there is further faster healing of the free fibula also. So it's called, now there's a newer latest paper now is Mas-Kapana. That means combination of Masquelet and Kapana technique. So they have published it as Mas-Kapana technique.
So in this particular technique, how much time would be further saved?
No time is saved. Actually, the consolidation takes same time, around 14 months, because there is only cancellous bone in between. So you need to protect it for longer time, actually, longer than free fibula.
And no. When you combine it with Kapana, when you're putting a fibula inside.
Kapana early mobilization is the biggest advantage. 6 weeks you can mobilize them.
Okay.
And strength.
So when you are actually combining this with Kapana, it's not the is it only that you put a fibula inside, or is it you put actually?
So you put a bone cement, antibiotic bone cement first. Remove the bone cement at 2 to 3 months time when the soft tissue is healed, and then use your Kapana. Okay, and then because one of the things of Kapana is that you cannot do a Kapana technique in an infected wound. So this will be technically a contraindication for Kapana. Kapana cannot be done because you are putting a non-vascularized allograft. So infected wound, it will get infected. Okay, so that is why, to avoid infection, in cases where Kapana has to be done, you do a combination of Mascule. So you're putting an antibiotic bone cement. It forms a nice membrane. You just remove the bone cement and put your Kapana or free fibula inside, and you can also put some cancerous graft. So you are combining your can put in an infected wound like this chronic infection.
So Mascule alone for which what length of the segment loss you can advise?
Mascule, as I said, we don't do it at Ganga, and the international papers they have done for very long defects. They have shown cases for 10, 20 centimeters and all, but it needs a specialized team to do that. So it's not for everyone basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Lakshmi, I think there are no
Yes.
questions in the chat box.
The
I
only
don't think so.
The only thing we didn't discuss, which is a combination of Ilizaro and fibula. I think both specialist team from Cochin and the Amandeep hospital team from Ravi Mahajan from Amritsar, they have a lot of experience. So when the bone gap is very long and even a fibula is insufficient, so in those cases of tibial loss, they distract it a little bit, bring it inside, and then put a fibula, or sometimes put the fibula and distract over the fibula to just compress it a bit. So that again, we have not done. We have done, I think, only one case, but otherwise we have not done any combined.
It requires a lot of expertise also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite cumbersome with the Elizaro rings.
More and more in our unit now, we have gone to doing a lot of fibula transfers over. For such defects, we will be preferring a fibula over Elizaro. The advantage of fibula single stage, and patient is very happy with the fibula transfer. With Elizaro, it is quite cumbersome. However, even uniplanar system, you put the patient going in public wearing a trouser or wearing a normal clothing becomes difficult. So more and more first choice in our hospital, our orthopedic team prefers first as fibula with allograft or fibula with some cancerous bone graft, so that you can get faster union, but single stage.